Good evening and welcome to Capital News. I'm Miano Mushiri. In the headlines, Kenya's Certificate of Secondary Education examination results will be released on Tuesday next week. The results of over 400,000 candidates will be released by Education, Science and Technology Cabinet Secretary Professor Jacob Kaimenyi. A statement from KNEC headquarters says they have made adequate arrangements to ensure that students are able to access the results by sending a message with their index number to 22252. The results will be released without the glamour of ranking students and schools after the government abolished the tradition of naming the best schools and candidates during the official launch of results. Mumo Mutemu wants the EACC given more time to probe the chicken scandal. The chairman of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission says they cannot rely on the evidence acquired in the United Kingdom, where two officials of the UK-based firm, Smith and Osmond, said to have bribed Kenyan election officials, were prosecuted and jailed for 3 years. He was reacting to criticism from opposition leaders including Raila Odinga, who has questioned the need to further probes, yet there have been convictions over the same matter. On Saturday, Odinga called on Kenyan officials implicated in the scam to step aside and prove their innocence in court, insisting their prosecution should commence immediately.
I would not run so quickly to distinguish the so-called Chicken Gate scandal from the general activity of procurement of electoral materials. If you remember, last year, we took a number of people to court on the same issues related to procurement. UK was punishing its people for breaching its own law. We have also taken action to punish our own people where they are also in breach of our own law. And I would ask that we look at ourselves as Kenyans as an independent country and have faith in our institutions and in the people we have tasked to do this.
In the meantime, the EACC has launched a review to curb graft at border points. The 30-day exercise is aimed at reviewing various loopholes at the country border points that leads to corruption in a bid to come up with preventive measures. Head of Public Service and Chief of Staff Joseph Kenyua, who launched the exercise, however, says the vice cannot be eliminated if all government agencies fail to work together. The conference that was at Kenyatta International Convention Center brought together stakeholders from various government agencies, including the Kenya Airports Authority, Kenya Revenue Authority, Transport Ministry, and the police.
I'm informed this review will entail an in-depth study and analysis of the management systems, policies, procedures, and practices of our public organizations with a view to identify corruption risk exposures and to draw out appropriate mitigation measures. That is what is indeed most important, and we should have a way of ensuring follow-up that indeed, after having come up with the weaknesses within our systems that are likely to lead to the kind of a challenge we may be facing, we ensure that there is a follow-up of audit that they indeed have implemented so that your effort is not in vain.
The inquiry into the dissolution of the Makueni County government should take 2 months. National Police Service Commissioner Chairman Johnston Kiveludi told a Senate committee vetting him that the 6 months allocated is too much because 2 months are enough to establish the issue raised by Makueni residents. The Kipchumba Murkomen-led committee is vetting all the members nominated by President Uhuru Kenyatta to sit in the inquiry commission, including lawyer Mohammed Nyaoga, who was proposed to chair it. If the 6-member committee is approved, they are expected to hear and determine the allegations raised by Makueni residents and recommend to President Uhuru Kenyatta on whether the county should be dissolved. Amu Power says it requires at least 870 acres of land for the Lamu coal project. The company, which is a joint venture between Gulf Energy and Centum Investment, among other firms, says it is working closely with the government to ensure that the land is acquired in time. Gulf Energy Managing Director Francis Jogu says they are looking forward to have the process of land acquisition complete before October this year, when the construction is slated to kick off. The coal power plant is currently the largest private sector-led infrastructure project in East and Central Africa and is expected to be operational within 21 months. Managers from 100 leading Chinese tour companies are due in Kenya this week. The visit follows a successful collaborative promotion between Kenya Tourism Board and Kenya's embassy in China held earlier this year. Kenya's ambassador to China, Michael Kinyanjui, said the tour organized by Polarized Safari Limited in collaboration with Uniway Travel will go a long way in equipping the Chinese tour operations and agents with first-hand experience on Kenya as a destination. Over 15,000 participants are expected to take part in the second First Ladies Marathon. The run will be held on the 8th of next month at Nairobi's Uhuru Gardens. Speaking this morning, Nairobi County Traffic Police Boss Musyoka Mutungi said the affected roads in the city will be closed or have diversions between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. up to noon on the competition day. Athletics Kenya Vice President David Okeo said registration will close on Friday to enable organizers work on the start list and issuing of running numbers. And finally, a look at the financial report.
We are the first team from London to win the Premier League. We are the first team to complete an entire Premier League season unbeaten. And now, we are the first team to introduce a debit card for our fans in Kenya.
The Imperial Bank Arsenal debit card is here. Earn redeemable Ghana points and enjoy exclusive privileges and incentives. Visit your nearest Imperial Bank branch for your Imperial Bank Arsenal debit card. Imperial Bank, looking after your interest.
For these and other stories, log on to www.capitalfm.co.ke/TV. I've been your host, I'm Yano Mushe.